Here is every hidden inside joke you never noticed in Frasier. Kelsey's record-breaking call-out. In Season 11, Frasier reunites with his first wife, Nanette Guzman, better known as the children's entertainer Nanny G.
God, I could throw you down on this floor right now and hi!
Oh, no.
She makes quite the entrance.
Here, let me take your rap.
Is she the children's entertainer?
Yeah, SpongeBob Hot Pants.
After Frasier rejects her advances, she has a breakdown in the middle of his kitchen.
If you knew how bored I am being Nanny G. How trapped I feel.
You have a wonderful career.
But nothing ever changes.
And then the killer self-referential line.
Do you have any idea what it's like to play the same character for 20 years?
On the surface, it's just a funny line from a woman tired of entertaining children. But look at Frasier's face, and it's clear he and the whole crew are creating an inside joke. After all, Kelsey Grammer started playing Frasier Crane on Cheers in 1984.
No. Hello, Sam. I'm Dr. Frasier Crane. I'm sorry I startled you.
And by the time this episode aired in 2002, he had been playing the same character for, you guessed it, almost 20 years. The silent mascot of Frasier. If you look closely at the background of many scenes in the radio station or sometimes Cafe Nervosa, you'll notice a familiar face, an older, unnamed woman minding her own business for 11 straight years.
Well, you see, Dr. Crane, my wife Tracy and I are having a baby, and I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but there seems to be a lot of different advice about what...
That's Joan Carey, a longtime stand-in and background actor. While she never had a single speaking line or even an official credit, she became a cult figure among fans and a silent mascot for the cast, and showed up in up to 34 episodes.
Working in pest control for 15 years, I go in.
Joan actually appeared in the background of both Cheers and Frasier, effectively spending 2 decades watching Frasier Crane's life unfold. The fourth wall wink. In the episode, My Coffee with Niles, Roz walks into the cafe with a date, and Niles shows a surprising level of enthusiasm.
Wow. He's really handsome, isn't he?
Frasier immediately pokes a little fun at his reaction.
Wow. Did you say wow?
Good Lord, I did. I don't think I've ever said wow describing another man before.
Niles questions what his own comment might mean about him.
Means you're a gay man. Your life with Maris is a big charade, and you should have come out of the closet years ago. You want to tell Dad or shall I?
While the joke was aimed at the character, the irony was aimed at the actor. David Hyde Pierce is gay in real life, though he wasn't publicly out when this aired in 1994. The best part? Right after Frasier makes the crack, the camera cuts to Niles taking a sip of coffee while looking directly into the lens with a mischievous, knowing smirk. Take a look at it here.
You want to tell Dad or shall I?
The Vacation from Hell. Frasier tries to leave life behind for a little while by taking a new girlfriend on a trip to the remote island of Bora Bora. He's finally ready for some peace and quiet until he realizes Lilith is staying in the bungalow right next door.
Oh my God.
Frasier?
Oh my God!
It seems like a typical sitcom, unrealistically small world storyline, but this was actually a trauma dump from the writer's room. One of the writers had just finished a brutal season on another show and spent a small fortune to fly halfway across the world to get away from his nightmare of a boss.
Brian is a seismologist at MIT.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Brian being a seismologist and you having so many faults.
However, after multiple flights and boat rides to reach literal paradise, the writer walked out onto his private balcony to see none other than the boss standing on the balcony next to him.
What's that?
What's what?
Lilith is making love in there.
I don't hear a thing.
Exactly!
The Frasier staff thought his misery was so hilarious, they turned his real-life nightmare into a fictional torment for Frasier. The real-life Mrs. Crane. In the episode Halloween, Niles hosts a costume party where everyone is dressed as a literary character.
Well, Niles, what time is this little soiree of yours this evening?
Yeah, I still gotta get the velvet in my slippers recrushed.
Frasier finds himself drawn to a woman dressed as Eve from the Garden of Eden and immediately attempts to woo her.
Not now, Niles.
Let me guess. Lady Godiva.
No, Eve. From the Bible.
Well, now I know why they call it the good book.
While she was just another guest at the party in the script, she was the guest of honor in real life. The actress was Kelsey Grammer, Kelsey Grammer's wife at the time.
Pardon me, I need a word with my brother.
No, Niles, you're doing really well here. This pointy hat is a babe magnet.
It's urgent!
They had just married the year the episode aired, and the team decided to have some fun by casting her as the unattainable woman Frasier is desperately trying to impress. A name that means everything. Throughout all 11 seasons, Frasier is constantly flanked by Roz.
Roz, Kate and I...
Oh my God, Kate's dirty girl!
Roz's name carries a weight that most viewers don't know about. Before Frasier existed, the show's creators worked on the sitcom Wings, where they became close friends with a real-life producer named Roz Doyle. Tragically, the real Roz passed away from breast cancer in 1991. When it came time to build Frasier's world in Seattle, the creators decided to honor her memory by naming one of the show's most important characters after her.
You've always been just like a brother to me. Which is weird, I know, because we slept together, but...
The 9-pound, 12-ounce weight loss. In Season 8, Niles returns from visiting Daphne at a health spa and proudly announces her slimming progress to Roz.
Hey, how's Daphne?
Actually, I just got back from visiting her at the spa.
Yeah.
Wasn't easy, but she has already lost 9 pounds and 12 ounces.
To the audience, it was the punchline to a season-long arc where Daphne had supposedly developed an overeating habit. But behind the scenes, the writers were playing a long game. In reality, actress Jane Leeves had been pregnant, and since it was too early in their romance for Niles and Daphne to have a child, the writers used weight gain as a cover-up.
The waitress's eyebrows nearly hit the ceiling when I asked for a doggy bag.
I don't know what her problem was. People at the next table barely touched this pork chop.
When Jane Leeves took maternity leave, they sent her character to a fat spa. When she was ready to return, the writers slipped in that very specific number, 9 pounds, 12 ounces, the exact birth weight of Jane Leeves' newborn baby, Daphne's husband. Roz has a date with a man named Jason from her book club, and he seems like just another guy passing through the Seattle romance orbit, but the actor playing him was actually a Nepo hire.
Blues are calling, toss salads and scrambled eggs. Mercy. And maybe I seem a bit confused. Well,
Jason was played by Marshall Coben, who happens to be Jane Leaves' real-life husband. Another example of the cast and crew casting loved ones from their personal lives by sneaking Marshall into the show. But because Daphne is not nearly as romantically active as Roz, they set him up with Roz instead of his real-life wife. A family affair at McGinty's. In the Season 3 episode Police Story, Frasier and Martin head to the local cop bar, McGinty's, to track down a woman named Maureen.
Oh, my God! Fancy seeing you here!
Hey, Frasier Crane!
Oh, you remember me!
Come on, 62 in a 40-mile zone with a half-naked girl in your back seat?
While the focus is on the Crane men, the real stars of the scene are sitting at a table in the background. The extras in that shot are the real-life parents of 3 main cast members.
You gave this great lecture at the Academy on how to deal with an armed suspect.
Well, thanks.
How come you left the force?
Well, I got shot by an armed suspect.
Here they all are. Jane Leaves' mother, Daphne, Peri Gilpin's mother, Roz, and David Hyde Pierce's father, Niles. They were all in the bar with them. Another example of Frasier being more of a family affair than we ever would have imagined. The name that said goodbye. In the series finale, Niles and Daphne finally welcome their first child in, true to the show's chaotic nature, a veterinary clinic.
Here. Call an ambulance. My wife's having a baby.
There's no time for an ambulance.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
Naming their son David feels like a simple, classic choice for a Crane, but for the cast and crew on set, that name was a heavy, beautiful tribute to co-creator David Angel.
Hey, David. Remember me? I'm your grandpa.
Yes, and I'm your... Sorry, I can't say it yet.
Tragically, David and his wife were passengers on one of the planes that hit the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001. By naming Niles and Daphne's baby after him in the very last episode, the writers made sure that the legacy of the man who helped make Frasier so magical would live on. A Dance with the Husband. In the end credits of the Season 7 episode, Rivals, Roz is seen on the dance floor having the time of her life with a handsome waiter.
hey, baby, I hear the blues are calling, toss salads and scrambled eggs. Mercy.
That waiter wasn't just a lucky extra, he was Christian Vincent, Peri Gilpin's real-life husband.
Fuse, well, maybe, but I got you pegged. But I don't.
Just like the show did for Jane Leeves and Kelsey Grammer earlier in the series, the producers staged a Bring Your Spouse to Work day for Roz. The Headley in-joke. In Season 8, Frasier meets Jackson Headley, a performer Frasier and Niles worshipped in their younger years when he played a role in Shakespeare's plays. When Frasier encounters him at a science fiction signing event, he's absolutely miserable about the state of his career.
I can't get cast as anything but an android, a cyborg, or when I get the chance to really spread my wings, a mutant.
This was a surgical strike aimed at Sir Patrick Stewart. Stewart is a legendary Shakespearean actor who became an international icon playing Captain Picard in Star Trek. And yes, he eventually got to spread his wings, playing the mutant Professor X in the X-Men movies. And judging by the fact he agreed to make a cameo appearance in Season 11, he clearly didn't take the jab too personally. Anyway, back to the episode in question.
This show is going on, in the words of our great author. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood.
So, who did they get to play this struggling actor? The producers made a casting choice that was a chef's kiss. They needed someone to play Jackson Headley, who was an actor so bad you wish the poison in Hamlet would act faster.
I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite all crows my spirit.
They hired Sir Derek Jacobi. In the real world, Jacobi isn't just good. He is a legendary figure of the British stage and one of the greatest Shakespearean actors in history.
On Fortinbras.
The Simpsons crossover gag. In the Season 4 episode, Head Game, the writers snuck in a brilliant meta-reference when Niles referred to Frasier's big floppy red shoes.
Me standing in for you? I'm sorry, Frasier. I couldn't presume to fill those big floppy red shoes of yours.
This was a clever addition to Kelsey Grammer's iconic recurring role as Sideshow Bob on The Simpsons.
A funny thing happened to me.
By having David Hyde Pierce deliver this specific insult, the show played on the audience's awareness of Grammer's voice acting career. The inside joke became even more amusing just a few months later when Pierce himself joined the cast of The Simpsons to voice Bob's brother, Cecil Terwilliger.
Plunger? Check. Hard hat? Check. $15 million and a gun?
The British accents. There were two Brits in the main cast of Frasier, but only one of them played British. Jane Leeves is a Southerner from Essex who adopted a working-class Northern accent for the show, while John Mahoney was a native Mancunian who had spent decades suppressing his English roots to play American. The team made fun of this in the Season 3 episode, Look Before You Leap. Martin mocks Daphne's accent by slipping into a broad British dialect.
I'm so sick of me hair. Do you think I should get it cut like Princess Di? Ooh, do you think that'd make me cheeks look too fat?
The irony lies in a genuine Manchester native using his natural voice to ridicule a Southern actress who is faking a Manchester accent, one that Mahoney himself actually helped to refine during the show's early production. The Full Circle Mover and Martin's Recliner. Back in the 1993 pilot, actor Cleo Augusto was the delivery man who brings Martin's hideous, duct-taped recliner into Frasier's pristine apartment.
Delivery from Martin Crane.
Oh, in here.
Coming through.
Excuse me. Wait a minute.
11 years later, the creators brought him back to take that exact same chair right back out. To make the callback joke perfect, he even wore an identical red and black flannel shirt for both appearances.
Be careful with it.
It's a brilliant bit of continuity that bookends the entire series. The chair that started as Frasier's biggest nightmare ends up being a symbol of the bond he formed with his dad. Sadly, Cleo Augusto passed away in 2015, but his legendary bookend cameos make him an icon in the show's history. By weaving real-life births, losses, and celebrations into the script, the cast and crew turned a sitcom into a living scrapbook and made the Crane world feel like home for everyone who built it. If you loved our video, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming up. Thanks for joining us behind the scenes of Frasier. See you in the next one. As always,
I'm listening.